This is Justin with Terran Core Stories. I'm hoping you're having a great day. Now, I've been doing some thinking and trying to decide how are we going to get an XCom 3? It's been 10 years since XCom 2. We still don't have anyone making an XCom game. Now, the first two are pretty dang good from Fraxis, with Jake Solomon making the, leading the way. And XCom, I think it was Chimera. It was okay, but not a real XCom game. So what we need, I've been thinking about this for a while, is after I've been playing HellDivers 2 for a while, I was thinking some of the mechanics that they're using for HellDivers, the HellDivers formula, would work really well. So instead of, everyone would be obviously one player working with a squad. It would the whole, instead of protecting galaxies, we're protecting a planet, obviously Earth in XCOM. You'd also do research, in HellDivers 2 you have your unlocks on your ship, but for an XCOM game that wouldn't work as well. You would have to unlock research, right? You'd have to collect things from your kills, go back to base, and research those things, because that's one of the core things in an XCOM game. But as for each play, and as in HellDivers formula, everyone has their own spaceship. Now that wouldn't work on an XCOM game. For XCOM 3, using the HellDivers 2 formula, what we would need is a unified base that all players would work out of. It would be a player hub. So you have all these players going on missions together, individually, trying to save the planet, trying to kill the aliens. And you could also do the reverse with the HellDivers 2 formula, which would be some players could be aliens. So therefore the aliens would be fighting against the players, the human players, playing humans, because that's just how it goes. So you'd have aliens players and human players going against each other, procedurally generated missions. Players would be all dropping into. UFO crashes like in a traditional XCOM game. We could have players out with flying out jets or subs, shooting underwater UFOs, and then they'd have to get out of their ship and go in and raid the crash, collecting collecting equipment to go back and research. So in HellDivers 2 formula, you're collecting samples. For an XCOM variation, you would need to collect equipment, corpses, things that you could go back to your main base, where all the players work out of, and do research. So you'd have community-run research, which would unlock equipment and weapons for everybody. But you'd also have to have a set of equipment that is not for everybody, which would be tied to a leveling system, which has been a tried and true system. So there's a lot of things we could add on here. Obviously, equipment customizations, cosmetics, and because everybody loves cosmetics, right? Equip armor, research armor, equip armor. Everyone can decorate their heroes, like in most games out there nowadays, because everybody, again, customizations are amazing, right? Everybody likes to have their style. Now, if Take-Two and Fraxis like this idea, obviously, they can let me know, but only if this is good. We gotta let this get traction. You gotta get the watches and views and submits and likes, and subscribes and all that stuff, and I'll post more of my thoughts later. But we really need an XCom 3, and I think the HellDiver formula would be amazing to be adapted for XCom 3. All right, let me know. You know, comments, whatever. And have a good one.